A wife held hostage at gunpoint. Now her family speaks out about a history of domestic abuse. Good evening. I'm Mark Allen.
And I'm Patrice Dayton. Thursday morning, Jayme Aubrey's boyfriend, Frank Ford, was shot 3 times by her estranged husband, Matthew Aubrey. Then Jayme's family claims she was held hostage at gunpoint and terrorized for nearly 2 hours.
His Sen's Amanda Jarrett talks with Jayme's mother about the horrific experience and the days leading up to it.
I think that chair helped him into the bathroom window the second time.
That's how JEANIE LALEN says her daughter's home turned into a horrific scene.
He shot Frank. She went and got the phone and was dialing 911. Made her get in the vehicle with a gun to her and drive around looking for Frank so that he could finish him off. And when they couldn't find him, he brought her back here into the home.
JEANIE says for the next 2 hours, her daughter Jayme was tortured by her estranged husband, Matthew Aubrey.
I told her it was one of 2 things. Either she was going to shoot him or he was going to shoot her.
While Matthew and Jayme had been separated for months, JEANIE says her daughter was terrorized by her husband.
It's been horrible. She has went through so much, and we have tried to get help.
While police had been called to this house before, Matthew was legally allowed to be here.
The officer was telling us there was nothing they could do because they were still married.
JEANIE says her daughter was so scared she filed for this restraining order. It was served to Matthew Wednesday night, just hours before the shooting. JEANIE says she knew her daughter was in danger, but never thought it would end like this.
She begged for her life. She pleaded for her life, telling him, I'm a mother of 3 kids, please don't take their mother away.
But now that Matthew's behind bars, JEANIE says her family can feel safe again. In Clay County with photojournalist Tony Casasilla, Amanda Jarrett, News 10.
The Clay County, Indiana Sheriff's Department says they have responded to several calls, domestic calls, between Jayme and Matthew Aubrey leading up to the standoff. While they had been called to the house before, there wasn't much officials could legally do. Officials say situations like these are tough. They say if it's verbal abuse rather than physical abuse, they can't do much. The Sheriff's Department says especially if a couple is still legally married, like the Aubreys, they cannot pursue charges such as trespassing.
When it's husband and wife, we're really limited on what we can do because each person has the right to be on property.
Just a week before that standoff, officials actually filed a possible charge of criminal recklessness against Matthew for an incident involving his wife and children. The prosecutor's office is expected to review the paperwork before any formal charges could be filed in that case.